ChatGPT, find me infinite content ideas for my YouTube channel.
Go find yourself. For God's sake, you're the 10,371st person asking me this today.
I know making AI do the work is so tempting, but in this video, I want to talk about a strategy that can help you constantly find new content ideas. If you're a content creator who's beginning your journey or someone who wants to become a content creator and unlock new opportunities, now it's a good time to hit the subscribe because we're about to deep dive into a creative strategy which will help you to stand out, create less copycat content, stop copying these influencers, and find your real audience. I know when it comes to finding a new video or a content idea, the first thing everyone loves to do is just go to their explore feeds and scrolling down and just find what's trending and what their favorite creators are doing, and they take notes and copy these viral videos. And it probably is not a bad strategy to get some views, since what already worked in the past on the internet may probably work again. But if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you will not find an audience who watches you for you. And in the long term, that can cause a big problems to your channels or your engagement. And once you understand you didn't really build a loyal community, you just attracted someone else's viewers temporarily, it's gonna hurt your channel. And another way that everyone has been trying recently to ask ChatGPT and trying to find something useful among those 100 responses they get. Now, this is a good method for efficiency, but only if you are 100% certain about what your messaging is and what your channel stands for. That's why today I'm gonna show you a little bit of different approach that you can take, and that's gonna help you fully understand the purpose of you creating the content, like why you create the content. And it's gonna also help you to just come up with unlimited content ideas whenever you are feeling like you're burned out. And on a weekly or a monthly basis, it's gonna save you a lot of time. In my previous videos, I talked about how you can think of your life as a niche and how your life has so many layers to focus on. And now in this video, I wanna expand that in a strategic way. This is not something I came up with, but it's the best approach that I can think of to be more authentic and create with purpose of growing instead of just chasing one-off viral moments. Now, there are three elements I want you to focus on with the strategy. What am I creating content about? Which is our mission statement. Who is my ideal target audience? And what makes me special? And don't even dare to say nothing. Lastly, there is a fourth bonus element which is always good to think about, which is your potential partners or opportunities. Imagine you actually made it, you reached a certain follower milestone and you have a loyal audience. It's very possible that either you'll reach out to several brands or some brands gonna reach out to you, and things like collaborations or promotions can happen. We'll talk about this later at the end though. Now let's focus on the first one. This is basically the reason you create your channels. What you will talk about the most, your main messaging. What are the main focuses of your life? For me, this is very clear. I'm an entrepreneur who's in social media and marketing industries, and my goal is to help you, help people to build a lifestyle as a content creator where they can brand themselves, to take control of their time, location, and finances. And while doing that, I'm also promoting how to become a better person, because I'm on a life mastery journey myself, and the building good habits, creating routines, promoting discipline. These are my essential to my personal brand. When finding content ideas, I want to make sure that each content I'll film or edit will somehow serve one of these missions. The second thing I mentioned was the target audience, who sees your content. Basically, think like a marketer. If you are a creator who already has some following, go to your analytics, check it on Instagram or YouTube, wherever you want, and just check who sees your content. It's possible to both grow this kind of audience or just switch your tone and just attract a different kind of group. It's totally possible to switch audiences in time. Let me give you an example from myself again. I'm 30 years old, living in New York, but as my hometown is Istanbul, Turkey, my audience is kind of split between these two cities, and mostly 25 to 35-year-olds. And I'm an entrepreneur, so my target audience is either entrepreneurs who are looking for guidance or people who wish to become entrepreneurs and digital creators. On our third case, they might be my friends from college and high school, so totally fine. How do we communicate all these into content ideas? Let me give you a few examples. And I'm talking to myself with this one because the example was myself. So basically, the first one, do a video on starting a business in New York, or talk about your 5 years of progress after starting a business. Again, that's me. Talk about the challenges of being a YouTuber with English not being your first language, because let's be honest, many of us wants to address a global audience, but we don't feel confident about the English level or sometimes our accents, because there's a fact that most of the successful YouTubers or creators are from English native countries like US or Canada or UK. So it's an interesting topic. Like, I can create a video on and attract an audience in or outside of the United States with different cultural backgrounds. It's totally possible. And another example could be just talk about the things that I should have done differently in my 20s as a 30-year-old, or following a recent viral trend like, I'm 30 years old and I'm not ashamed of ... As you can see, there are so many different ideas, so many different layers I can tap into, and it's just creating unlimited content ideas, but they're all about myself. I'm not really copying anybody, even that I can copy a trend. It's all about me. And I basically came up with all that just by looking at who follows me or what kind of person follows me, creating like a marketing persona. Let's move on to another important element, which is why you matter. This is what makes you you. Like your struggles, what you're passionate about in life, or your memories and your expertise, if you have any. And like, I think I already named a few examples from my life and from my videos. Like, I built a life from scratch in a foreign country. Like, I got disconnected with many of my good friends, and I never really had a real job as an employee, which kind of sounds weird, I know. These are some of the struggles that I faced in life, but it can be quite relatable to probably millions of people. Like, I'm very passionate about also dancing. I love playing my guitar. Like, I even love singing once in a while. You know, I love documenting my trips and vacations. When it comes to experiences, I'm a business owner, and you know, I have my social media journey to just document, constantly documenting all this stuff that I'm doing. And my biggest skill is, you can guess, storytelling. As I keep talking, you may have already noticed that what we are doing is basically deep diving into our lives again and again, because as I said, I recommend you to make your life the channel itself. So when it comes to this kind of exercise, just sit down, create an infinite doc on Canva or whichever the software you like, and just start writing down or just drawing like a content tree or something like that. I promise if you take enough time and put a little bit of silent music or whatever helps you to concentrate, it's gonna help you tremendously.
Tremendously successful.
The last thing I want to talk about is brand partnerships. Now, this is of course the opportunity side of social media, so a lot of people gets exciting, but a lot of people rush to this part because it sounds exciting. Like, when it comes to creating content for brands, I personally believe this area shouldn't really take more than 10% of your channel. Like, it takes time to really build a loyal audience, and until you establish some sort of authority, like, you know, put your fist down and everybody listens to you as a channel, it's probably not the best strategy to just rush these deals, like, you know, just chasing them, either there's a free product or money. Still, I'm gonna bring an alternative talking point as well. Some creators can actually create for these brands without social posts, which is called UGC, like user generated content. So this is a gold mine where you can actually keep creating for brands outside of your channels without really disturbing your main audience, like continuously with branded content. And here's the part where you need to pay attention. To land on these opportunities, first, make sure to choose brands that aligns with your content. Either you post something to your channel or not, it still matters that you're picking brands or like products that aligns with what you do. And for those brands, have a few pieces of content ready on your channel that are not really promoted, but strategically placed to be used by as your portfolio once the brand asks the links to your recent content. Have them ready, and you know, whenever you apply for whatever the campaign, just send those links to them, and it's gonna act like a portfolio. I did a video recently about my morning routine, and you know, I placed a few scenes from my very favorite pre-workout oatmeal. And that could have been easily a UGC content for that brand, but I didn't really contacted them. It wasn't a part of the deal. It wasn't a paid thing, but I still included it because I wanted the other brands to like just see it. Like, you know, as long as I like the product and it fits my vision of health and nutrition, I'm capable of doing this kind of stuff. I'm capable of putting up quality content, and I can certainly do this kind of UGC content for y'all. So that's basically the message. Like, have these content ready on your profile. Either they're gonna discover you, or you're gonna apply for a campaign and they're gonna ask you the links for those things. We can talk about how to find those brand deals another day, but this was the last part of the strategy, which can really help you to think about making money from social media eventually. It's a later stage, but you know, it's something that's really important to most people, and it's something to consider as a motivation. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I hope you really find a lot of value out of this video. And if you keep doing this exercise just to build your content calendar and posting consistently, I'm so sure that it's gonna work out. And that's all I'm gonna say. Hit the subscribe button on your way out, and I'll see you in the next one.